Good evening. This is John Kramer with Grunts in Appalachia.
Nate Kingsley, Grunts of Appalachia. What's the date today?
Today is the 26th of March. So, what'd you do this week, Nate?
I just work every day.
Yeah, that's about all I do too.
I didn't really accomplish a whole lot. Since the last time we talked, I picked up a new shotgun. It's going to be something we're going to touch on a little later. But that was pretty awesome this week for me. You know, trying to stay armed and all this weird gun control and everything else that's going on. I don't really, I'm not for all that. So I'm trying to keep myself controlling things with guns.
Yeah, it's pretty whack. I actually saw that Vice President Harris is in charge of trying to institute something of that nature. And I saw an article the other day. They were talking about coming to people's houses and confiscating assault rifles, which most people don't even know what that really means. But aside from that, I thought that was absolutely crazy, and I can't see any police forces in America actually trying to implement that policy myself. But whatever.
Well, the thing about that is that all that's trying to happen. Gunny's trying to get in the microphone because he wants a shout out.
Who's Gunny?
Gunny's. If you know me, and by this point, if you know John and I mean, like together, Gunny's kind of a part of it. I mean, he obviously has the name Gunny. That's pretty significant in the Marine Corps world, and probably the best rank. But Gunny's gonna be 7 tomorrow, and I think he knows it.
Happy birthday, Gunny!
You know what I mean? Like he like knows it, and for some reason he is just normally he doesn't mess with us like that. I think he just said something, but you know, normally he doesn't really mess with us when we're doing this stuff, but right now he's just all over me, John with me, like he's just and so I can't let him not get a shout out.
What kind of dog is Gunny?
He might tell you. That's Gunny. He's a German wire-haired pointer. He came out of Sipe Gun Dogs, Sipe Wire Hairs in Kansas. He's the best. If you ever want one of these, he's the best damn dog, and that's the best breeder for German wire hairs in the country, in my opinion. Steve Sipe. So
he's definitely an awesome dog. I mean, we traveled around with him last year. We were in where'd we go? Fayetteville? Was it Fayetteville we were at with Gunny?
Oh, dude. When we did the on the trail.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, just so you know, listen, I gotta tell you this. So if you ever decide, now see Gunny, he's like he can be aggressive. Not aggressive like, I mean, your 2-year-old baby girl could, you know, hold onto his collar and ride him forever. But he doesn't like other dogs his size with balls. But sometimes he can't tell what's what. And so I didn't think that when you go hike a mountain in West Virginia, hike a trail to a scenic overlook, that there was going to be dogs. And I was like actually thinking me and Gunny were kind of going to be like the hotness on the trail. Like
the only one.
Yeah,
the only one on the trail.
I'm the only dude with a dog on this trail. And I'm hype about it. Like, I'm like, oh, shit, watch me strut. Like, walking over there, walking to the trailhead. I got Gunny on a leash and shit. Like, he's looking awesome. And because, you know, he's an exotic-looking dog. And, like, and so as we start up the hill, there's, like, 30 dogs waiting to go in front of us. Like, I didn't, one, expect the amount of people. Second, I definitely didn't expect the dogs. But everybody up there, if they had their dog there, they were there, and they were a dog lover, so it's even worse because it's not like some guys just wanting to drag a pit bull up a mountain.
Dude, how many times did somebody ask if it was
Don't man, it's like that's a personal attack at that point. Gunny doesn't look like a Labradoodle at all.
That's what it was. Is that a Labradoodle? No, it's not a Labradoodle.
But I will have to say, honestly, as a result of all the dogs, how fast did I walk that mountain?
Well, we plan on taking a nice, luxurious walk up.
How
this
fast I
mountain.
walk
We
this
were at
year.
we were at Seneca Rocks, which is a really cool rock outcropping that you got the spine on it, and it's really
Yeah,
neat.
go check.
It's on Instagram too. We
Go
took
check it out.
pictures.
No, definitely go check it out.
Go check it out. If you're in the area, definitely check it out. It's only about 20
Hey,
minutes
also
away.
hit our Instagram.
Yeah, it's only about 20 minutes away.
No, follow us, like us on Instagram, do all that, whatever it's called. You know, just hit our social media. Yeah, I mean, Grunts and
check it
Appalachia. I mean,
the stuff we talk about, we post pictures
Yeah,
on our Instagram and our Facebook. For
we want you on there. You know what I mean? Like, we want to interact with you. We want to be able to. That's one of our easiest, channels.
Ways to contact us, too,
yeah. Best avenue for us right now. So, I mean, hit that up. But anyway, you go ahead, Joe.
Oh, we were at Seneca Rocks, and like I said, it's a cool outcropping. Got a nice spine. You can walk on it and everything, and it's really neat. A lot of people go out there and do videos and take pictures.
Everyone takes their dog.
But since it was COVID last year, it's like every single human being within a 4-state area was there the same weekend we were. And every single one of them brought their dog. I actually felt a little naked on the trail because I felt like I was the only person on the trail without a dog.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had Christian.
Well, I had Christian. Yeah, I did have Christian.
You drug a big human up there. But he ain't lying. I mean, I thought the same thing. I thought everything was going to be that way. It wasn't. And it was just like at the same time, most of these people were okay with their dog just diving on my dog. So, like, I had to, like, carry my dog, and I was just like, the faster I get this over, the better. Like, I got to get this dog up this hill and back down off this hill as fast as I can because it's just dog fest. And so I, basically, I didn't sprint, but I stepped it the fuck
Oh,
out.
you definitely stepped it out, man. It was only like 55 degrees, and I was sweating it was crazy. And I actually said, people were walking up, and some of them were elderly, some were out of shape. And how bad of a walk is it? Because they're looking at us on our way back down, and we're all soaked in sweat. I was like, well, it's really not that bad. And they're just looking at me like, well, it doesn't look like it by looking at your shirt. But honestly, it's not a bad hike. But you should definitely check it out.
They were also pushing a stroller with like quadruplets in it.
Oh, it was insane.
And like people just take their kids. It was cool and stuff. But like I would definitely hit it on like a Tuesday if you have that luxury
during school.
Yeah,
when school was
like not COVID. Also, but really, it was nice to see that many Americans in Appalachia enjoying
the outdoors
and hiking that trail.
Yeah, it was. That part of it was cool. The part that wasn't was just.
I mean, that was cool.
How many times you had to sidestep on the trail to let people walk around you?
Well, you had people quitting everywhere, and like so at least know what you're about to go hike. Like, I'm not saying that I am the some
ultimate hiker.
I'm pretty damn good, but like I can walk. That's one thing I can do. I can walk, but
hoof it out on the way.
I mean, I've guided, and hunted and done, but like I like that kind of thing, but I knew that I was capable of that thing, and that those people, some of them people were probably in for a little more than they bargained for.
I think they were. Now if you're not into hiking and you do want to go check out something cool, you can check out. You can see Seneca Rock from the road. There's actually a really cool little general store across the street from it that you can get great pictures at.
But I would have considered that hike a beginner level hike.
Oh yeah, it only takes about 30 minutes if you just walk normal.
So not trying to talk bad on the people that were, not doing so well on it. Good on them for trying and for being out there, but it caused for a lot of congestion.
Yes, it did.
On it, and
then you get up on top and there's people up there drinking.
I mean, do you remember when I was up there and that girl's dog jumped
on Gunny on the spine? Yes. Oh, dude, I forgot about that. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I don't know how far the drop is. It looks like it's probably 600 feet.
It probably maybe more.
Maybe more. I mean, it's pretty high up there, but. We're sitting there at the very top, not the very top.
And you can fact check all this. Either way, it's high.
Yeah, it's pretty high, and you can stand.
I don't know how tall it is. If it's 100, then I do not believe you. But please,
if it's 100, then I'm scared to hike.
Yeah, please, please challenge us on that, I guess. But go ahead.
But this dog, man, this lady didn't even care. Her dog just comes down off the spine, and Nate and Gunny are sitting down there right there at the base of the spine, and this dog just like launches itself onto Gunny, and it wasn't trying to fight. It just jumped and landed right on Gunny, and oh, it was bad. It was.
And the girl goes, "Oh, that's cute," and her man was like, "Babe, get the dog." It was just interesting, but there was really no wiggle room currently where we were. There was no time for really much interaction. It was like kind of a transition, like the last little piece.
Yeah.
And it was a little steep right there and a little tight, and they just didn't care. So that was strange. But don't let me talk you out of going there, because it really was.
I don't think if you go there and you're not into hiking and you're not in the shape to even take a
no, like I said, beginner. I think beginner.
It's beginner, but it's still got some elevation to it. And if you don't want to do that, you can always see it from down by the general store, take pictures, and then you can drive 20 minutes up the road and be at a really cool place. It's the highest point in West Virginia. I don't know the exact height. Spruce Knob. But I don't know the exact height, but you can drive all the way up to the top of it and not even have to walk a trail.
Actually, it's amazing they did it like that, in my opinion, because it's for everyone, and the view is amazing.
It really is. And the other cool thing about that, you can hike on the top of Spruce Mountain. It's got or Spruce Knob. It's got a little trail that goes around it through a pine forest, and that pine forest was neat.
I'll say that was laid out way more pet friendly.
Oh yeah,
because of accessibility. I think they understood, like the West Virginia Department of Fish and Wildlife, Parks, whatever. I'm sure that they understood that you're going to get everybody here, but it wasn't crowded.
No, it really wasn't.
It flowed nice. That's why I think it. I
mean, there was no parking up there, and there was a lot of people there, but it flowed very nice.
But they were coming and going.
Yep.
So if you were patient in the vehicle. But you could do whatever you want on the trail. Like there was no, you didn't have to be patient. It wasn't like when you're golfing and somebody's, messing around on the hole in front of you. No, they were everybody kind of just flowed. They had lookout towers. That was a really good trip.
Yeah, that was sweet. And the really cool thing about that is if you aren't into hiking or you can't handle elevation, that trail is completely flat. I mean, you can walk clear around the entire top of Spruce Knob and be on flat level ground in a pine forest with probably 5 or 6 different really cool overlooks. I probably saw
the age group or the age span that were enjoying it from literally toddler, handheld toddler to there was probably 80-year-old people on that trail.
Yeah, I mean it was,
and everybody was smiling.
Everybody had a great time.
Look back, everybody we interacted with, everybody that we saw, everybody was smiling because you couldn't help but just be impressed with everything that you were seeing. And I will say that's worth checking out, regardless, if you're traveling through or if you make it a destination. There's actually some really nice campgrounds there.
Oh, dude, we drove in there. When we drove in, this was great. It's the middle of the night, and we put it in the GPS on our phone, and we were going to a campsite because we planned on just going as cheap as possible, and we wanted to sleep outside or whatever under the stars.
Listen, I'm not going to volunteer I'm going to tell you this just so you know. The bulk of this ride, for whatever reason, Nate was tired. And I did a lot of sleeping. So I found myself awake at the most inopportune times to have any controller say on destinational choices, turns, anything like that. And I regretted it after a while, but it was still very interesting. And the adventure it led us on was still just as amazing and awesome.
The funny part about it was that we drove on a little dirt road, a single lane dirt road.
100%. I'm talking about dirt
for probably 45 minutes until we got to the campsite. And like I said, this is the middle of the night, so we really can't see much. And when we finally get to the campsite, there was no campsites available. So if you do ever want to make a trip to Seneca Rocks or Spruce Mountain, make sure you
book ahead.
Book it ahead, because we were ignorant and we didn't book ahead. But we drove for 45 minutes.
Yeah, but what's the fun in that?
Well, I mean, it's an adventure. You just go. But the next day when we had to go all the way back to the town to get a hotel room, which was a really sweet hotel room, by the way. I mean, it was awful looking, but it worked. Actually, no, that was the cool one. That was the cool hotel.
It was in like a train.
Yeah, they had like a train. It was like a train station type thing. It was pretty neat. But
It actually really was cool.
yeah, it was cool. The next day, though, we drove straight to that campsite without getting on a dirt road.
John and I slept together in that.
Oh, dude, that was hilarious.
In that hotel room. I didn't
Well,
want
the
to.
only reason that had to happen is my son was with us, Christian, and Christian's 6'8" and weighs 300 pounds. And
I tell everyone that Christian is 6'9", 350 pounds, just so you know. So, like, John's is, but I'm Uncle Nate, so I embellish a little bit on Christian all the time. Like, he gets heavier and taller every time I mention about him, but either way, he's a giant human being.
that you don't want to be in a double bed with.
Yeah, I'm down, but
Oh, dude, what did I say to you, though? We
you just don't fit. You just don't fit.
Yeah, so I mean, we obviously were in a hotel room with 2 double beds, and so me and Nate are in one bed and Christian's in the other, and I don't remember what you said.
But like me and you together, or like him in actual like size, it's weird. Like,
yeah,
we're like
Well,
me and you added.
We're like one human,
Yeah.
like one Christian.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so weird.
I remember Nate saying, "Well, how are we gonna do this?" And I just flipped the covers over. I was like, "Just get in here, just get in here."
And I did honestly, that's the first time I ever just like obeyed John. I'm like, that's gross, dude. You just invited me in there and I was in, dude. That's, but anyway, I wanted to bring that up just because I wanted everybody to know that, because I'm strong, and that had nothing to do with nothing. Him telling me to get in there. Gunny doesn't like that. Gunny was there.
Yeah, he was there.
He slept with Christian.
He did. He slept in Christian's bed.
Yeah. So, like, Christian and Gunny are John and Nate.
It is what it is.
And that's hilarious.
Well, last week, you weren't with me on this one, Nate, but I had to go up. My wife runs a horse rescue called Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue.
But I followed you on Instagram, and I saw you on Facebook.
Yep.
And, through also Tania's, the Heart of Phoenix and all that. I definitely was able to follow along, even though I unfortunately wanted to be, couldn't be there. So I mean,
I work day.
Well, but it was a work day for you. It was a work day for everybody. But I would have loved to have been able to experience what you experienced, and you're going to tell us. I know that, and I'm just saying, like, I was, at least it was awesome. I was able to follow you and follow Grunts in Appalachia and follow your wife's, on her social media platforms. And I mean, everybody should check those out, because that's honestly, I mean, you'd be reliving this story John's about to tell.
It was cool because my wife, she's got there's such a big group of volunteers and people that drive trailers and stuff. But that day, for some reason, there wasn't anybody available that could drive. And when she tells me, she says, "Hey, can you drive down to," I think it was Williamson, West Virginia or something like that, on a strip mine, which is strip mines where they cut the top of the mountains off and they take the coal and then they replant trees and brush and stuff like that. And I'd never been on one, so I was like, "Yeah, that sounds fun, let's do it." And she goes, "Well, I need you to do it because there's some people that would drive, but I don't really know if they can drive on the road." And at that point, when my wife says the road's treacherous and she's been doing this in the hills of Appalachia for the last 10 years, I'm like, this must be a pretty bad road. So we get out there, and it's about 2 miles from the base of the mountain up the road to where we were going, and the road was absolutely awful. I'm talking, my personal truck, I wouldn't take it. I mean, you're going to destroy your truck.
You're about to buy a new truck.
I am. I'm getting one next week.
But we'll come back to that. But you wouldn't have taken that there.
No.
Sounds good.
I would not.
Sounds good. Okay.
I would not.
I've been with you in your current truck, which is for sale, and but I've been with you in your personal truck, and you're pretty, generous as to where you're willing to take that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll go down. I'll even offer it.
But it's been what? Dependable every time.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I'm telling you right now.
So you're buying the new. Just for the record, you're buying the
basically the same truck I have now, just a little bit newer with a lot less mileage.
Yeah.
I mean, I drive a Toyota
because
Tundra.
it's that good.
Yeah, I drive a Toyota Tundra, and I mean, that's all.
Fantastic truck.
Yeah, that's all I'll ever drive. I love it. My truck's got almost 300,000 miles on it. It's just been a beast.
Your dad.
My dad get a new truck this week too.
No, well, I've already seen pictures. He says it's in the garage.
Oh, he's already got it.
Nissan Frontier.
Oh no, funny thing, my dad's so funny about this stuff. He goes, well, I'm gonna go get a new truck. He was in a wreck. Luckily he didn't get hurt, but destroyed his last car, and he had to go get a new car, and he's always wanted a pickup truck, so he's like, I'm gonna go look at pickup trucks. So he found a nice Nissan Frontier, got it loaded out with leather and all that stuff.
Retired man, hardest working, just
hardworking
beast.
Man, ran his own business for over 35 years.
And the craziest thing about him, if you ever meet him, you would just 100% think he's driving the nicest truck in the parking lot.
But he never was. And he's got the money to, but
could have. No, we're
yeah.
not talking even about that. It doesn't matter. I mean, whatever about that. But could have, would have, didn't, wouldn't have because he didn't.
Yeah. And
now he wants a truck.
The funny thing about what you said though is that he tells me, he said, I said, are you going to get that truck, Dad? He said, well, I don't know. He said, I'm going to go pick it up tomorrow. I'm going to drive it home and make sure it fits in the garage.
He showed me pictures of it.
Before I buy it.
He showed me pictures of it.
And so he was excited because he brought it home. He parked in the garage. He's like, I got 12 inches of clearance on the front and 12 inches of clearance on the back. I'm buying it this week. I was like, that's sweet, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I could look at the pictures right. That's hilarious.
Yeah, it was good stuff. But I'm happy to get
honestly, other than the fact, I wasn't trying to interrupt on the story about the whatever, but other than the fact that he told me that he thought he's done enough for his children that his children should have bought it for him, is what he told me.
Oh, my dad always says, I'm retired now. You guys should be taking
that's
care
what
of
he
me.
That's what he told me. I said I pay my taxes, old man. That's what I tell him.
He's funny. Yeah, he actually tells me all the time, you make sure you keep working so you can pay my Social Security.
I'm paying for Social Security just for him. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, my dad now. I think my dad's retired now. So
there you go.
So I'm paying. I'm working for two. That's it.
We're the proverbial keeping the wolves away from them.
That's it. I mean, honestly. I'm trying anyway. Anyway, please, sorry. Go back to this story. The road was awesome.
But I can tell you, we get up there, and I was talking about them going out and catching the wild brumbies of West Virginia on strip mines, and it's a big problem here. My wife has been fighting with the authorities in West Virginia for years on this. People come out and they dump horses on these strip mines. Then they start breeding, and these horses just continue to just become more and more of a nuisance and a problem in the small towns out in the coal fields. Because they get on the roads, people hit them, and it's a nightmare scenario, really. But my wife's done a phenomenal job taking care of that and doing everything she can to fix the problem that's going on. But up there, when we got there, and that's, if you want to check them out, it's a really big organization called Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue. Recommend going to check them out too. They're really, really, they do cool stuff, and they do stuff continuously year round. I mean, they've got a new thing. They started this thing called the Appalachian Trainer Face-Off a few years ago, and that's where they get trainers from all over America that come in. They take horses out of West Virginia. We had one trainer. She had one trainer from Texas last year drive up, pick a horse up, bring it back to Texas, train it for 3 months, and then bring it back and compete at the Appalachian Trainer Face-Off. Nate and me were at the Appalachian Trainer Face-Off last year. It's in August, and we camped out in a horse stall.
We slept in hammocks, man.
Yeah, we did.
I will also say, and this, I mean, it doesn't matter, but it was really intense.
The only thing intense about sleeping in that hammock was me having to listen to you get out of your hammock and take a piss. My God, you hammered it for like 45 minutes, dude. That was insane.
45 minutes, man.
It seemed like it was 45 minutes when I was trying to sleep.
Like when you're waking people up with urination. I mean, honestly, that's. I'm sorry whether you like it or not. That's being, that's capable. I don't know. That's just like, that's something.
I just walked around the couch to get a beer, and I'm actually sitting on them. That's fantastic. There we go. So,
back to the horses, man.
Yeah, the horses. So we get up there, and they'd set up this corral panels. One of the women from the horse rescue set up a bunch of panels to trap the horses in. And like I said, these are wild horses. They're feral. They've never been handled before. So it was pretty neat to see it. I backed the trailer up. We got them all loaded up, and then took the 30-minute ride back down the 2 mile road to get back to the 2-lane. And it was just beautiful. I've never seen anything like it. I mean, there was nothing out there. The only thing we came across was on our way back down. We ran into some people in some side-by-sides that were out there four-wheeling and doing their thing. But aside from that, beautiful country. I don't know if you have to have any kind of permission to go out and hike it or anything like that, but it's definitely worthwhile seeing. I know for a fact, this was weird to me, that this is privately owned land, and people were running cattle out there. And they were all tagged, and I know that they ran into an issue one day when there was a bunch of them out there, and some of the people that had dropped cattle out there to raise their cattle and not have to do anything for them came out to look at their cattle and were kind of combative because they thought they were trying to steal their cattle. And
little rustling.
yeah, I mean, they thought they were trying to steal their cattle, and so they were a little combative, but after they explained to them who they were and everything, they let it go, and they took off.
Dude, I always think that, like, I would love to be, like, born in, like, the Wild West. And, like, you know, could, like, to be, like, a gunslinger and all that. But, like, then I realized that, like, I would have just probably got shot in the back. Like,
Yeah, walking away or something.
I'd have been, like, 17. You know what I mean? I went to school till, like, 3rd grade. You know what I mean? Now I've been living with, like, I'm out rustling cattle. And now I'm like a gunslinger for like a week. And I'm like 16 and a half. And I just got shot and I'm dead. And like, but back then, if I would have killed 3 dudes in a gunsling, then I'd have been a legend. You know what I mean? Like, they've been making movies about me. You had to kill 3 people. You killed 3 people like 2 days ago.
What would your name have been?
2 days ago. 2 days ago. I mean, 2 days ago.
Nate the Kid?
It'd have been Nasty Nate, dude.
Nasty
Obviously.
Nate.
Yeah, I'd have wore like a good ass hat too, man.
I thought you were going to say a wig.
No, why would I need a wig, man? I wouldn't have been bald back then, dude. You know what I mean? That's before all like the weird stuff in chicken.
No, it just sounded like the word that was going to come out of your mouth was wig.
Wig.
Wig, man. Wig.
I'd have wore a weird ass hat, a nice cowboy hat, dude. My shit would have been sick. It'd probably been like a derby kind of like that. I think that's what I wore.
Sweaty, nasty.
Yeah, I mean,
just like everybody else back then.
Yeah, but I was only 16 and I'm dead now. You know what I mean? Like that. But I definitely would have been good. I think I would have thought that was cool.
I can tell you my Wild West story from working with my wife in the horse rescue. We went out to pick a horse up out of a field one time. This guy contacts us and he says, hey, I got this horse. And I've got it boarded at a place. He's like, but I've got to get it out of there. And if you could act like you're the veterinarian, at this point, I'm like, this is kind of weird. You want me to act like a vet to go get your horse out of a field? That's okay, whatever. Let's do it. So we go to this place, and this guy's got a 45 on his hip. And at this point, I'm like, okay. I mean, I don't care about guns. I mean, obviously in the Marine Corps, guns don't bother me one bit, and obviously the guy I'm with has the gun, and he wants me to help him, so therefore I'm not in any kind of problem. Walk out in the field, old boy puts the lead rope on his horse, and we start walking out of the field. Well, the guy he's renting from, or not boarding with, comes out of his house, and he goes, what are you doing? Starts yelling at us. You know, typical Appalachian backwoods country folk that not the best kind you want to meet. Like, we're talking like the...
No, we love back...
Yeah, we love backwoods country folk. This is one of the ones that you kind of stay away from. Like the 3-tooth guy with what lives in the single wide trailer. That's
regardless of stereotypes, there's that everywhere though.
Yeah, there's a lot of good people. I mean, there's more.
No, I'm talking about like there's like crazies everywhere.
Oh yeah, crazy people. But this guy comes out
not just here,
screaming, ranting, and raving. And so the guy I'm with, he says, oh, you know, this is my vet, and he's here to check the horse out. We got to take it back to his vet clinic to get it checked out. This guy knows good and well that we're not taking it to no vet clinic. We're taking it out of there, and we're bringing it to the horse rescue. Well, old boy's like, you ain't taking that horse nowhere. Comes out.
Is that how he sounds?
He comes, he's like, I'm going to get my gun. He runs up in his house, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And so I started walking down the 1-lane road to get back to where the horse trailer was, which is about a quarter mile down the road. And old boy never got a gun, but the guy I'm with pulls his 45 out and is standing guard in the middle of the street right behind me, walking backwards. He goes, "We're going to have ourselves a shootout out here." I'm like, "I sure hope not."
Yeah, but here's the thing. Like, what if that would have went down?
It possibly could have. People are crazy, man. But we get down the street, and old boy comes up in his S10, flies around me, turns it sideways once we get off the one-lane road, jumps out of his truck. At this point, the guy I'm with's got his gun out, and he's sitting there. He doesn't got the gun pointed at him.
Who's in the S10?
The guy that had
the crazy dude.
The crazy dude in the trailer.
With the horse.
With the horse, yeah. So he jumps out of his truck and comes running up. I've got the horse's lead rope, and I'm walking the horse. He comes up and puts his hand on my chest. And I knock his hand off my chest. I'm like, "Look, man." I'm like, "Don't touch me. I'm leaving." And I walk around them. They're having words. It was wild, dude. I didn't know there was going to be a shootout right out there in the middle of...
No lead flew.
No lead flew, though, luckily. So, I mean, that was cool, but...
It's always better when that doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I got my wife and my 3 little kids in the truck. This is probably like 9 years ago. I mean, all the boys were tiny, so they had no idea what was going on, but it was pretty crazy. Stories like that happen all the time, though, around here. People like to shoot windows out of houses and stuff, which is kind of wild.
It's like not the. It's not the most. That's not the most.
The truck I'm buying. The only thing that's wrong with the truck that I'm buying is that. The guy tells me, and he's a good old boy, but he was one of the good ones. Like, he's a nice dude. He actually sent me a text and he goes, "Look, man," he's like, "you got the financing. I believe you." He's like, "I trust you because we shook hands on this deal. So this deal is, it's your truck." I was like, "Well, that's great. I'll be there on Monday to get it." But the only thing that's wrong with the truck is, he said, "I let my brother borrow this truck last week, and apparently he either had a 410 or a 20 gauge in the back seat and blew a hole in the passenger door." And he just took out the plastic, and then there's 2 little tiny pellet holes, not even holes, they just like, they stuck out in the truck and knocked the paint off on the outside that are seriously the size of BBs. But I mean, that's...
Because they are BBs.
Yeah, I mean, little BBs. But I was like, "Oh man, whatever, that's cool. We can just scrub that out."
That's character.
Yeah, that's character, you know? And now I don't have to worry about getting the first scuff on the truck. Nobody likes that first scuff anyways. I got a new knife this week too, man. I'm an HVAC contractor, and so I do a lot of metal scrapping at my house. And my littlest boy was out there helping me scrap this last week, and he said, "I need something to cut this insulation off of these copper line sets." And I handed him my pocket knife, and he's cutting it. He's like, "Man, this is a really nice knife." And I said, "Well, I'll just go ahead and give that to you for payment." So I had to get me a new knife this week, and I beat him up. So I just got a cheap old Kershaw that's sharp as crap.
I'd say, yeah. I mean, like, honestly, that
I tested out the night eating my leg of lamb steak.
Yeah, well, you know, like, I mean, I honestly, I'm personally snobby when it comes to knives. I am. Like,
Let's be honest, Nate. You're very particular about just about everything.
Yeah.
All the gear.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, but I will say that the things that I like are, you know, what I like. But
What'd you say to me last week? I like cool things.
I
don't have many things, but all my things are cool.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. And so, I mean, like, I like that kind of thing. But I will say, for a good, you know, it's not even low end, because of, honestly, man, I messed with it. That knife, for the price, I mean, you know, what you got in that knife, it's honestly, it's well built, lightweight, really friendly to the hand, and the edge is absolutely razor sharp. And I was impressed with that. And you
even told me I could skin a turkey with it.
Oh, we're gonna. That's coming up. I mean, that doesn't have anything to do with the new shotgun I bought.
You got a new shotgun?
Well, like I said earlier, and I know you've seen it. You know, I mean, it's an Escort. You know, it's in the AR platform. It's a DF12, 12 gauge, obviously with the DF12, but it's basically, I mean, it's 5.56, but 12 gauge, and, you know, obviously smaller, you know, round capacity and things like that, but it can, I mean, it thumps quick. You know, the cycle of operations is extremely smooth, crisp, fast. it's not necessarily a turkey gun per se, but I think maybe
We're gonna try it out for a
yeah.
turkey.
I'm gonna shoot a turkey with it. So I mean it's just a real cool deal. I gotta look. It's so new to me that I haven't even explored if I can or cannot hunt in West Virginia with due to the smallest magazine capacity because it's through a magazine is 5, and I don't know if there's something I can buy. I'm maybe a little ignorant to that process because this is new to me. I mean, new to me. So I'm gonna look into it. If I'm not legally allowed to hunt with it, I will not. But
Speaking of turkeys, what were you doing this evening?
always roosting turkeys, roosting birds, just trying to find turkeys to kill, man. I'm not really worried about it. I mean, anywhere, it's pretty good that way. I think we'll kill them.
It's good stuff, man. This week has just been a whirlwind for me because we're coming into season now where it's not turkey season, but
we are coming in.
We are coming into turkey season, but right now for me, it's my busiest season of the year. So this week's just been wild for me, and this is the time of the year where I just get this blanketed with work. I mean, it just gets wild. Same for you though. I mean, we're both in the construction industry, so this is the time where everyone's starting to buy new houses or refurbish houses,
break ground on new construction,
which this year might actually hurt because of COVID with all the pricing, man. The pricing's insane this year.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I mean, that's insane. What was it? I mean, you could buy a 2x4 in the end of 2019 for under $2.
Yeah.
And now a 2x4 is almost like $8 right now? $9, something like that?
Well, let's talk about plywood's at like $60.
I mean, that's crazy. And you're talking particle board. You're not even talking
OSB.
You're not even talking regular wood. I mean, that's crazy. I saw an article about it the other day. They were talking about if right now is not a good time to sell your house because you're not going to be able to, if you want to build something, you're not going to be able to build a house for the same money of the house that you already have.
Well, the new construction price is what runs and drives, real estate as far as, pre-consisting houses. It's what drives it. If I can build it for cheaper than I can buy something that's old with problems, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? And now something that is worth so much